There's a saying by Krishnamurti, there are no problems in life. And I remember meeting a student of his, very close friend and student in India, who knew him for a number of years. And I had that as my moniker on Skype. And the student got kind of angry about it. He said, "What do you mean by there's no problems in life?" And I said, "Well, that's something that Krishnamurti said." And what he meant by that was that from the point of view of the ego, there's unending problems. That's its great trap. There's problems with the body, there's problems with relationships, there's problems with ecology. And of course, all of those things require doctors, healers, psychotherapists, ecologists, environmentalists, politicians, lawyers. There's an unending tribe of people to solve the problems of the world. But what he meant by there are no problems in life was whatever unfolds in your life, no matter how difficult it can be, it's a mirror to learning about seeing the world with a different thought system. And so in that sense, it's not a problem, it's a gift. And there can be immense resistance in the mind, there usually is, which means that we develop all these projections onto these people that we hate and have issues with. And not just people, but ideologies and belief systems. And what life is trying to do is help us to see that those projections have a source inside us. And that's why the story of Job in the Bible, this incredible mystical story, sort of the message of the story is that everything that's happening, not necessarily things that are in your control even, but everything that's happening, including those things, right? And they are, and the Stoics agree with this, they are tests for you to go within and say, I'm not a victim of the world I see. My psychology can be shifted to, and this was the whole focus of the Stoics, like I can't control necessarily what happens to me, but I can control my responses. And that is what Krishnamurti meant by there are no problems in life, that when you take everything, even the most difficult things, as a gift to show you a way of seeing yourself and reality as a blessing, which is an extremely difficult challenge to master. I think anyone who's had a death in the family of someone that's too young, or some injustice that has happened to them, which is everyone that walks the earth, to see those things as a blessing is impossible, right? But to see the blessing of how you respond to them, whereby there's no self-destructive thoughts or self-destructive thoughts projected outwards onto others, hatred and a feeling that the world is futile, which it is, right? But then turning that thought that the world is futile, it has a sort of fleeting pleasures and pains that come and go, into a crucible for burning up this illusionary thinking that the world is where you're defined, because where you're really defined is in the mind and how you respond to it. And that's where the curriculum of a loving mind is being constantly made available to you, right? And so how you respond references your teaching by example, in the context of whether you're saying, well, life is full of problems, the world is full of problems, I'm a victim of those problems, or you're listening to another level of physicality and intelligence, which is able to see that there are no problems in life, that everything is a test for you to reveal to yourself and those that witness your behavior what defines you. And that's why Krishnamurti also said repetition of deep wisdom is very important, because until you get this, and it takes a very long time for most of us, then life is full of problems. Life is full of injustices, life is full of reasons to hate, reasons to condemn. But when you start to see that fear is behind all the behavior that we condemn, and even the condemnational behavior as well, then that's a gift. And that's a supremely challenging thing to master, because everyone that you hate is a reflection of your fear. And to look at that is very humbling.